Last story tonight is VP Harris. Guess what she's doing? She's going around the country and she's talking about economics. Yeah, economics. I know, right? She started a multi-state tour on Monday in Atlanta to tout economic opportunities for Black Americans as Democrats try to mobilize critical voting base ahead of November's election. Here goes a short clip on that topic.
Party, Basil Smikle. You know, from the very beginning, from the time that, and I was on the air when she came out and she was officially named his vice presidential nominee, there's on one hand excitement, on the other hand concern about racism, about sexism, and the confluence of the two. With Drew Barrymore, she just tried to kind of turn that into, I don't know, a teaching moment, right? But are there some more troubling issues at play, do you think? And does her being out so much at least tell you how Joe Biden is answering them?
Well, it's interesting because I've talked a lot about it, written about how she is the administration's secret weapon because she's an African-American woman who's also the child of Indian-American immigrants, that there is an intersectionality that she brings to these debates that you're not going to really get anywhere else. So the fact that she's going out to all these different states and all these different cities talking about reproductive rights, all the things that she can talk about, she is uniquely qualified to do that. Now, having said that, I remember my days working for Hillary Clinton when she was criticized in the Senate, when she was criticized for everything from her laugh to the fact that,
Lord have mercy. Yo, let me get him back on the screen. See, this is a problem, man. This is that BS right here. I thought you were going to talk about economics. I watched a portion of this clip. I wanted to include a clip in this particular segment. And unfortunately, he's going to start off talking about this shit. Intersectionality, racism, sexism, reproductive rights. Talk about the money. Talk about how you're going to help small businesses. Don't talk to me about this intersectionality stuff. See, what people don't understand, I guess if you live on your own, I guess if you live with your parents right now, and you don't have to worry about economics, okay, fine, okay? Maybe you don't realize it, but for the rest of us, economics is massive. It's massively important, okay? That is why one of the reasons why people are leaving the Democratic Party. Shit like this. Everybody's not interested in what's going on with racism or sexism or intersectionalism or patriarchy or whatever, man. I know you can sell a lot of books on it, and a lot of the college universities will pay you to come talk about it. But in working class, bread and butter, kitchen table issues, don't include that. Racism by far is this big issue that is never going away. But you know what trumps that? Money. Because no matter what somebody thinks about me or doesn't think about me, whether they want me around or don't want me around, whatever they say behind my back, under their voice, or in their hand, doesn't matter, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever, even in the YouTube comment section, does not pay my rent, does not pay my mortgage. What's wrong with this guy? Maybe that's why he's working for Hillary Clinton, because he got his head all the way up his ass. Let's keep going and see what he's talking about.
people, said she wore pantsuits too much. So I've for firsthand experience hearing the misogyny and the sexism be directed toward women in positions of power. But again, that's where Shirley Chisholm and Hillary Clinton walked, so Kamala Harris can run and do the work that she's doing to be able to tackle these issues head on, but also turn it to the advantage of the party as she, as I said, goes out and starts energizing communities and
Man, he made me want to just fast forward through this whole damn segment, man. Yeah, talking about Hillary Clinton's pantsuit. Hillary Clinton lost in 2016, and we don't need to hear from her no more. And the last thing we need to do is coming up here and lying to us. If Hillary Clinton would have been talking about money instead of talking about her damn self, and she would have been talking about economics, what she's going to do economically to boost small businesses, to help entrepreneurs, to help working class families and poor families get their head above water and be able to create a larger middle class and an upper middle class, people would have listened. But her motto was, I'm with her. And that had nothing to do with my life. It had nothing to do with my kids' life. It had nothing to do with my economics, my mortgage, my rent, my car note, my food on table, the inflation, the cost of goods and services. Absolutely nothing. It does nothing for my life so that you feel more empowered as a woman. If you didn't get that from your mother, I don't know how to help you with that. Go get a therapist, because that's not what keeps people getting up in the morning. That's not what keeps us living indoors. That's not what's going to put homeless people in houses. That's not what's going to put us in a better position as a people either. Talking for Black Americans. Black Americans own 2% of the wealth in this country. And them feeling, Black women feeling more empowered ain't going to put them in power. A few Black people up top, like Kamala Harris, and some question how far we can even take that statement. But a few people in top, a few Black faces, a few Black faces in high places don't change the disgraces of our bottom line, of our balances or our credit rating, or our mortgages, or our interest rates. Damn it! Head up his ass. Who is this guy? Who is he? You say, why do people listen to Donald Trump? Because he ain't talking about this shit. He's blowing smoke, but at least it's on the right topics. Money. Money. And until the system is changed, people need it. All right, let's keep going with this guy. The moron.
Talking about these very issues.
And she's clearly expanding her portfolio, right, for the campaign, because the abortion was something that she's been doing for months and months and months now. Now they have this economic opportunity tour. We know that this is hurting Joe Biden in the Hispanic community. We know it's hurting Joe Biden among young Black men. What is it that she can bring to this that he can't?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, she brings a youth and a vigor that he is now obviously joking about. So there's that. But, you know, she can do in many ways when you talk about what she can do that the president can't, she can go to Tennessee after the two state legislators were expelled to be able to talk about the importance of having them sit in their office and the issues that they brought to the table. So in some ways, you know, while the president's got to stay on sort of this broad message, she's going to.
No. F no. Hell no. We don't want you going to Tennessee and talking to them two brothers about why they got thrown out the embassy or assembly or whatever. We don't care about that. What we care about is what you're going to do for Tennessee business owners. What are you going to do about the farmers? What are you going to do about hardworking people? People have been out of their jobs so long, they are forced to start businesses, but they are grossly underfunded. Grossly underfunded. So they say, Tim Black, come on, man. A lot of businesses are starting with the Black community. Right now, record number of businesses are being started. That's not a necessity. A lot of people ain't been back since the pandemic ended. So they started small businesses, but guess what? They underfunded, just like this show. This show is grossly underfunded. You think I come to you and say, hey, support the show because I like saying it? You think so? You think I got a bunch of sponsors running in this joint trying to support this show when I'm talking to you about this? Hell no. They would fund me if I was talking down to you and shitting on you and had a white American flag behind me. Then they would fund me. Get what I'm saying? So that's what Kamala Harris needs to be out here talking about. But since you're going to send her out here, she's going to talk about wage issues because that's a sneaky way for the Democrats to make sure you don't get the bag. That's a sneaky, covert way to keep you off the money. Off the money. Hey, man, I'm not one of those people that look down on sex workers. I really don't, man. It's a job. You got to make a living. And hey, it's your body. And if you were going out for free and giving it, sleeping, hey, whatever, okay? But get paid up front. Get paid up front. And what the Democrat Party wants you to do is not get paid at all. Keep giving it away because you're doing the right thing. Screw that. Screw that. This guy's part of the problem, so is Kamala Harris. Is sending her out here to tap dance and to talk about, I don't want to hear about, I know I'm Black, sister. I don't want to hear you talk about that. Don't even talk to me about what color I am. Don't talk to me about how Black I am. Talk to me about my bank account. Talk to me about my small business. Talk about the grants you're going to be cutting for small businesses. I remember a time when Mayor Marion Barry, they called him a crackhead mayor, but you know what that crackhead mayor did? He allocated 30% of the D.C. government contracts be earmarked for small Black businesses. Now, nowadays, they would say that was reverse racism. They'd like it better when 95% of those contracts go to all white businesses. To say that even in a predominantly Black city, like Chocolate City used to be, so much they call it Chocolate City, 90 to 95% of the businesses or the grants or the business contracts, small business contracts, went to white businesses. He said, nah, not under my watch, not under my reign. I'm going to do it different. So that's the type of innovative, smart thinking we need. And if Trump comes in here talking that shit, he going to get a lot of votes. Especially if you put that up beside somebody like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris talking about intersectionality and racism and feminism and LGBTQism and homophobism and all this shit. All these isms don't got nothing to do with capitalism. Now I'm going to hear this guy out. But he got one more time to say something stupid up here. Yeah, one more time, Chuckles.
Be able to go into communities, even invite people down to DC to have these smaller conversations with them about these are our marching orders going forward. These are the ways we need to start talking about the issues. Now go out and do this work. So that the sort of intimacy that she can have with constituents that the president can't because he's president of the United States is going to be very valuable in the long run.
We know the youth vote is very important, and we've been obviously covering not just today, but for a long time now, the unrest on some college campuses. Morehouse, a lot of students and faculty there are not happy that Joe Biden is going to be giving the commencement address. The school has said, we're not back.
And look, they understand the mission. It's important for them to get an agenda passed and promoted for anyone that's running for president of the United States. But don't come down here and use the university as a platform without addressing the core issues. So if he can do that, he'll be welcome. But until then, they just want to make sure that he has that in mind should he decide to go.
Basil Smikle, thank you. It's always good to see you, my friend.
No, it's not. No, it is not. It is most definitely not good to see you, my friend. I don't got nothing against this brother, man. He's follically challenged like myself, and he looks to be about the same age and about the same build, and I get that and I understand it. I have an affinity for brothers like that. But you know what, man? No. You come on this show in a segment about her doing a tour with an economic tour. And it's an economic tour, right? Economic opportunity tour. And the whole damn thing, 70% of it was about DEI or feminism, sexism, racism, intersectionalism. No. And then it ended on Palestinians. I thought it was an economic tour. I thought it was about our money. I thought it was about small businesses. I'm like, is it finally true? Are the Democrats going to pull their heads out of their collective butt cheeks and recognize what everyone else recognizes? And the guy even says it. A lot of votes are leaving the Democrats. Latino vote, young Black American vote, leaving over economic issues. And what does this surrogate for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden do? He comes out and talks about everything else. Everything else. One of the compelling reasons for me to start this tour, says Kamala Harris, is to ask all the leaders here for help in getting the word out about what is available to entrepreneurs, because we are in a process of putting a lot of money in the streets of America. That's what Harris said. Harris says they're going to put a lot of money into the streets of America. Hey, man, cool. That's what I'm about. But see, this is not what Dale Hughley's talking about. This is not what James Carville is talking about. This is not even what Roland Martin's talking about. None of these guys are talking about what Kamala Harris is talking about in this article. Economics. So they either want to lose or they're doing a good impersonation of somebody who wants to lose. It is what it is. I'm voting for the largest deportation operation in history. That's the start, says Honey Badger. In wokeism, many people of color are social conservatives. They don't want to touch on economics because the medicine to fix that, what else does, is mostly bitter medicine, not seen since Volcker was running the Fed. I did. Economic, but let me talk about racism, sexism, voting rights, and the war. Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I'm saying. It's like a bait and switch. This was This was boilerplate bait and switch. Bait and switch, man. Let me get you here under the guise of opportunity. That's what's on the mask here. But when I get you here, we're going to talk about everything else. All these other things that trigger you. Hopefully, it triggers you so much. It gaslights you so much that you forget you came here to get a check. Did you forget that you came here to get a business loan or a business grant? Remember, those stimulate the economy. Business grants, business loans stimulate the economy. What, they're going to do a business and go move it to China? No. Business in the United States, business in the neighborhoods, business in these states across the country. Black Americans are their base. We have to demand our agenda. Exactly, Honey Badger. I'm trying, fam. I'm trying. But you know what? You know how much money is going into the pockets of those with bigger platforms who are willing to make it about everything else except money? Except money. Shameful, man. That's right. Seduction Doll says, right, Tim, they clickbaited us with that nonsense. They clickbaited me with that nonsense, but see what they get back? Seduction Doll, thank you for the comment. They get back me being fired up and hitting them with both hands, like Mike Tyson up in this joint. Bow, bow, two-pieced them. Two-pieced them up like a Popeyes with a biscuit on the side always. So they took what could have been an opportunity for me to go a little lighter on them tonight. Unfortunately, man, we just need to reach more people. More people, more people, more people. Because someone needs to tell these people how it is. I'm not somebody, look, man, I am not dedicated to either of these parties. Neither one. I want the best deal we can get. I want the best deal we can get that helps working class people and Black America, of course. That's it. Whoever's got that will have my support. In the end. But you all know I support Dr. Cornel West as well. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Somehow we were able to pull out a show. I tell you, man, it takes time sometimes because I got to find topics that I think are interesting. And sometimes that's not easy. I got to sift through more garbage than you know. So if you find topics that are interesting that you would like to hear about, please send them to tim@timblackTV.com, tim@timblackTV.com. You will be helping out tremendously. Or if you're already a Patreon, hit me up on Patreon, DM me there. Follow me on X, it's Real Tim Black. I'm also on Instagram, it's Tim Black Show. I'm on TikTok, Tim Black Show. It will help. And I still got bait and switched. I'm like, what? And I'm up here, I'm like, you know what? I want to prove that I'm not going to just dump on the Democrats. And what do? They give me more reason to dump on them. All right, people. Nothing but love. Stay vigilant, my brother. Stay vigilant, FBA. Be one family. We are about policies, not emotions. Exactly. Wolfpack Cornbread, Wolfpack Facts, Wolfpack Love. As I always say, thank you so much, Katrina. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. And remember, when they say, why are you concerned about these issues? Tell them, hey, it's a new day. You ain't going to get our vote just appealing to our emotions and talking about who got shot last week. A lot of people got shot last week. Show us some money.